Hello Year Ones, it's Miss Norman here. Welcome to Monday's literacy lesson. Now we have a very exciting week planned for you all this week. We will be writing our innovated version of the story, The Storm Whale. Now if we rewind back to the beginning of the term, we were introduced to our wonderful story, The Storm Whale, and we spent lots of time reading our story and retelling it with actions and writing some wonderful sentences. Now, last week, we started innovating our story. So innovating means slightly changing it. Now, in the original story, Noi finds a whale washed up on the shore after the storm. But in our innovated version, Noi finds a mermaid. So our story is going to be called The Storm Mermaid. And we are going to spend time all week writing different parts of our story. So a very, very exciting week we have ahead of us. Now, before we start our story writing, we are going to practice some spellings. Now, we're going to practice spelling our common exception words. Now, Year Ones, you know that those are the words that are a little bit tricky. You perhaps don't follow our normal phonic spelling patterns that we learn. Now, we're going to practice first of all saying those words. So I'm going to do my turn and then it'll be your turn. So my turn, the, your turn. My turn, said, your turn. My turn, were, your turn. My turn, today, your turn. My turn, mermaid, your turn. Well done, Year Ones. Now, mermaid isn't a common exception word, but it is a word that we are going to be using lots when we're writing The Storm Mermaid. So we are going to practice that throughout the week, spelling it. Okay. So when we are spelling our words now, we are going to use a very exciting technique called pyramid writing. Now, pyramid writing is a way of practicing your spellings. And as you can see, you write the word in a pyramid. So we start off with the first letter, then we add a letter each time as we go down. So you can see we've said, we've got S at the top, then the S and the A, S-A-I, and then S-A-I-D, okay? So you're adding a letter each time you go down, okay? And you can see that with the word were, you can see that with the word today, and you can see that with the word mermaid. Now this is a really, really good way of practicing our spellings, okay, because each time we're adding a letter, our brains are remembering and our hands are remembering how to spell those words. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover up my pyramids and you are going to have a go at spelling these words. So in your literacy books, I would like you to use the pyramid style to practice these spellings. So you can pause your video now, okay? So pause your video now and practice those spellings. Good luck. Okay, well done, Year Ones, brilliant. We are now going to move on to our story writing. Now, before we start our story writing, we are going to practice retelling our story, our innovative story with our mermaid in. Okay. Now, when we do this in school, we put actions to our sentences. So please join in with my actions at home. Okay, so we're going to start off with our first picture to help us retell the story. Now, remember, when we say Noi, we are doing a capital N in the sky. Okay, so Noi lived with his dad and 6 cats by the sea. Every day, Noi's dad left early to work on his fishing boat. He wouldn't be home again till night time. One night, a storm raged around the house. In the morning, Noi went down to the beach to see what had been left behind. In the distance, he spotted a beautiful mermaid washed up on the sand. Noi knew it wasn't good for a mermaid to be out of water, so he acted quickly. Noi took the mermaid to his house and put her in the bathtub. He tried to make the mermaid feel at home by brushing her long hair and singing songs to her. Noi was worried that his dad would be angry, so he tried to keep it a secret, but he knew it couldn't last. Noi's dad wasn't angry. He hadn't noticed that Noi had been lonely. Noi and his dad took the mermaid back to the sea where she belonged. Noi was sad to say goodbye. He hoped that one day soon he would see his friend again. Okay, well done, year ones. Hopefully you joined in with my actions there. If you would like to retell the story again, you could just rewind the video slightly and go through the actions again, because the more we practice it, it will help us with our story writing. So if you like to rewind the video and try that out again. Okay, year ones, so we are going to now look at our story mountain. Now we've looked at our story mountain for lots of different stories, and we know that every story has 5 different sections. Now we have a beginning. Now in the beginning of a story, the main characters are introduced and the setting of the story is introduced. Now, next, we have the build-up of a story. So this is where the story starts to get going and the story starts to develop. Okay, so then at the top of our mountain, we have the middle of our story. Now, in the middle of our story, there is always a problem that needs solving. The next part of the story is the resolution. So in the resolution part of the story, the problem is solved. And then finally, we have our ending of a story. Now, in the ending, we see what happens to the characters now after the story has kind of and the problem has been solved. Okay, so that's the 5 different parts of our story. Now, we are going to be writing the Storm Mermaid, our innovative story, over the next 5 days. So today we are going to be writing the beginning. Tomorrow, the build-up. Wednesday, the problem. Thursday, the resolution, and Friday, the ending of our story. Okay, so we're going to be splitting it up into chunks. Now, today, like I said, we are going to be writing the beginning of our story. Now, we know that in the beginning of our story, Noi lives with his dad. So we are told that Noi lives with his dad and 6 cats by the sea. And we notice that Noi is a little lonely because his dad leaves early to go fishing every day. Now, I've got some lovely pictures here to help me with the beginning of my story, help me write the beginning of my story. Okay, so these pictures from the story will be a little prompt, a little reminder when I'm writing my sentences. Now, year ones, you will all know what this special box is here. You have used these lots in your writing before. This is your success criteria. So your success criteria is what we want to see from you today. So we want to see capital letters. We want to see capital letters in the right place, full stops in the right place, and making sure we're using our finger spaces so that we can easily read your writing. Okay, so that is your success criteria for today. So I'm going to have a go now at writing the beginning of the story. Now, I have a few things on my screen which are going to help me. I've got my success criteria, I've got my pictures, and I've also got some word maps on the board here. Our top one is some topic words which will be really useful for the story, the storm, mermaid. And then below that is the year 1 and year 2 common exception words, so those tricky words. So I can use those to help me in my writing, and you will all have these on the screen later as well to help you with your writing. Okay, you ones, so I am going to type my story. Okay, now our story needs a title. So we have said that our title of our story is going to be The Storm Mermaid. So I'm going to write my title here. Okay, The Storm Mermaid. Now you may have noticed that I have put capital letters for my title. That's because it is the name of a story. Okay, so it's a proper noun, and we need to have capital letters. Okay, so I'm going to use my first picture here to help me with my first sentence. So I can see this picture reminds me of my first sentence. So Noi lived with his dad. I can see his dad there, and his 6 cats, which are somewhere all around his house. Okay, so Noi lived with his dad and 6 cats by the sea. So that's going to be my first sentence. Noi lived with his dad and 6 cats by the sea. Now, I know I need to put a capital letter for Noi because it is a name of a person, and that is a proper noun. So I need to make sure I put a capital N for Noi. But I also need to put a capital letter because it is the beginning of my sentence. Well, I'm just going to change this so it's not underlined. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so Noi, Noi. Noi lived lived. Now I know with lived, it's a bit of a special one because the v sound is made up of V and E. Okay, Noi lived with his its dad, and Noi lived with his dad and 6 by the sea. Well, now buys are a tricky word. Okay, so I'm going to use my word mat to help me. I can see by is there. So Noi lived with his dad and 6 cats by the. Okay, again, that is one of our tricky words. Now I know your ones that you all know how to spell that one, so I should be seeing that correctly spelled in your writing today. So Noi lived with his dad and 6 cats by the sea. E. Now I know there's a couple of ways to spell the E sound. I think it's the E capital T E N. Brilliant. Full stop. Finish my sentence. Now, when I have finished my sentence, I know it's a good job to reread it, because then I can check that I have done everything in my success criteria, and I can check if I've missed any words and it makes sense. So Noi lived with his dad and 6 cats by the sea. Okay, makes sense. I've got my capital letter, I've got my full stop, and I've got my finger spaces. Now my finger spaces, I'm typing, so I'm using the space bar, but for you all at home, making sure you use your finger, or you may have a lollipop stick as a tool to use to help you remember your finger spaces. Brilliant. So my next sentence now is going to be using this picture. Now, I know that every day Noi's dad, he goes to work, doesn't he? He goes to work on his fishing boat. So I'm going to write a sentence about that. So I'm going to say, each day Noi's dad left early to work on his fishing boat. Okay, each day. So I'm going to remember my capital letter, each day. Noi's dad. Now you might have noticed, Noi's dad, that I have put another special bit of punctuation here. Now this is called an apostrophe. Now I've got an apostrophe here because we are talking about Noi's dad. Now Noi's dad belongs to Noi, it's his dad. So we use a special apostrophe at the top here. And you see that kind of floats in the sky there. Okay, an apostrophe before the S, and that shows that the dad belongs to Noi. Okay, it's an apostrophe for possession. So each day, Noi's dad left early to work on his fishing boat. Okay, so I'm going to fishing, quite a long word. I'm going to break that down. I'm going to do fish first. So Ish. Okay, so I know sh sound is made up of S and H. Sh, ish. And now fishing, I know I need to add my suffix ing, ing. Fishing boat. Okay, each day Noy's dad left early to work on his fishing boat. 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 Full stop. Okay, I'm going to read it back and see if it makes sense. So each day, Noy's dad left early to work on his fishing boat, full stop. Brilliant. Okay, let me check. I've got my capital letter, beginning of my sentence. I've got my full stop and I've got my finger spaces. Brilliant. I'm really pleased with my sentence. Okay, I'm going to look at my last picture now. Now, I know that this part, this picture is showing that his dad is leaving and he won't be back until night time. So I'm going to start by saying he would not be home again until night. Now, I'm going to say he because we've already mentioned Noy's dad, so I can say he rather than Noy's dad again. So he would. Now, would is again one of our tricky words. Okay, so I'm going to use the word map to help me there. Would. He would not be okay. Home. Okay. Now I know again we know different ways of spelling the O sound. I know that this is one of our split digraphs. So and then I need to put my E on the end. Where's my friend? He's on the end. He would not be home again until night. I. Okay, now I know I is made up of 3 letters, special friends, I-G-H. He would not be home again until night time. Okay, we've got another split diagram here. Where's my friend? He's on the end. Brilliant. Okay, I finished my sentence. I'm going to read it back over to see it makes sense. He would not be home again until night time. Okay, I've got my capital letter, got my finger spaces. Oh no, I've forgotten something. Can you spot what I've forgotten? That's right, I've forgotten my full stop, making sure I get my full stop there. Okay, I'm now going to read through all of my sentences just to double check that I am happy with them all. Noy lived with his dad and 6 cats by the sea. Each day, Noy's dad left early to work on his fishing boat. He would not be home again until night time. Brilliant. Full stop, full stop, full stop. Capital letter, capital letter, capital letter. Also capital letter for Noy here because Noy is a proper noun. Okay, making sure we are using capital letters for names. Brilliant. I am really happy with my writing today, and I'm actually going to give myself a tick because I have done capital letters, I have done full stops, and I have done finger spaces. So yes, I am very, very happy with my writing. Okay, year ones, it's now your turn to do your independent writing. So on the screen, you will see everything that you will need to write the beginning of your story. Remember, we're just writing the beginning of your story today. So these pictures here will help you, okay? We just need to write about these pictures. We're writing the beginning of the story where we are introducing the characters and introducing the fact that Noy's dad is out on his fishing boat and doesn't get home till night time. Okay, so these pictures will help you. Here is your success criteria. Remember, in capital letters, full stops and finger spaces. Also, we've got our word maps, which will come in really helpful for those tricky words here and some of those story words which are a little bit trickier as well. Okay, your title is here, so you can copy the title. Now with presentation year ones, I want to see you showing us your best presentation. So making sure you're writing your sentences next to the margin, your letters are sat on the line, they're not floating all over the page, they're sat neatly on the line, okay? Using a sharp pencil, that always helps. and like I said, remembering capital letters, full stops and finger spaces. Now, I am very excited to see your writing on Dojo later, so please do take a very clear photo of your writing and upload it to Dojo so your teachers can see and we can give you feedback on the wonderful writing you do. Good luck, year ones, and I cannot wait to see what you write. Bye.